I met a traveler from an antique land who said, "Two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them on the sand, half sunk a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that its sculptor well those passions read, which yet survive stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them and the heart that fed. And on the pedestal these words appear, My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remains round the decay of that colossal wreck. Boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away." Hello, I'm BMillzebub, and welcome to my channel. What I just read to you was a poem called Ozymandias by Percy Bysshe Shelley. You may know his wife Mary Shelley a bit better since she wrote one of the most popular horror books of all time, Frankenstein. You may be wondering why I recited that poem at the beginning of one of my videos, and truth be told, I just kind of wanted an excuse to do it because I think it's an amazing poem. And before anyone asks, no, I didn't read it because they did it on Breaking Bad. I never got into that show, and I liked the poem years before the guy in the show read it, or the show even existed at all. But since I probably can't just read a poem and expect it to really go anywhere, I've got to connect it to something. If you actually think about the poem for a moment, you'll realize that it's about hubris. Listen again to the words inscribed on the pedestal. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remains round the decay of that colossal wreck. Boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away. Ozymandias was once a real pharaoh, although Ozymandias was his Greek name. His real name was Ramesses II. And the inscription on the stone is real as well, although Shelley takes a little bit of artistic license with it. The real stone reads, King of Kings am I, Ozymandias. If anyone would know how great I am and where I lie, let him surpass one of my works. Whether Shelley's version or the real one carved in stone, each talks about the same thing. How everyone, no matter how great, eventually dies and falls from memory. The hubris comes into play because they don't believe they'll fall from power or be surpassed or forgotten. So what does this have to do with anything I ever talk about on this channel? In this case, I'm talking about religions. Whether it's the gods they worship or the leaders of those religions. Just because at any given point in time there's a god or pantheon of gods being worshipped doesn't mean that's how it'll stay forever. This point is exemplified by the Graveyard of the Gods, which is something the Secular Student Alliance does every year. Not as an attack on religion, but as kind of a way of pointing out the failings of Pascal's wager, or to point out the hubris of thinking any religion stands immortal among others. And this level of hubris is seen in every major religion, with its practitioners believing the religion will never die out. I certainly never thought Catholicism will die out, yet it almost certainly will, however far into the future that does happen. And I'm sure those who followed Norse mythology thought their gods would outlive humanity, yet here humanity is, and not a whole lot of people, if any, worship the Norse pantheon anymore. Same goes for the Greek and Roman pantheons. These religions are all, for all intents and purposes, dead. And it was hubris to believe they would stand forever. The same goes for the Abrahamic religions and every other religion being followed today. One day they'll fall out of fashion for one reason or another. Perhaps another religion will take their place, or people will stop bothering themselves with religion at all. My point being that humanity will eventually outlive these eternal institutions, and one day, maybe, someone will write, "Look upon my works, ye mighty, and despair," as their epitaphs. And in case anyone's interested, Horace Smith, who was a friend of Percy Shelley, made a friendly bet with him, as was common in the circle of writers they were in, and this is how Smith's poem read. In Egypt's sandy silence, all alone, stands a gigantic leg, which far off throws the only shadow that the desert knows. I am great Ozymandias, saith the stone, the king of kings this mighty city shows. The wonders of my hand, the city's gone, naught but the leg remaining to disclose. The sight of this forgotten Babylon, we wonder, and some hunter may express, wonder like ours when through the wilderness, where London stood holding the wolf in chase, he meets some fragment huge and stops to guess what powerful but unrecorded race once dwelt in that annihilated place. But that'll do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video, please leave it a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and click the notification bell to get notified every time I upload a new video. If you feel so inclined, consider supporting me on Patreon, where I have monthly patron-only live streams. Or consider getting me something from my Amazon wishlist. Every little bit helps, and every little bit is greatly appreciated. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, linked below, to keep up with all my comings and goings, and join my Discord for a chance to talk to yours truly. Take it easy, everyone, and I'll see you all in the next one.